Hello everyone, I'm Casper Kuma and welcome to Pink Noise. Now this game was like inspired by Stranger Things and like American Horror Story, so expecting something like that. I mean, it already looks pretty cool with whatever the hell is happening in our attic here. I don't know, something bad's happening. Act 1, Along Shady Alleys. Oh yeah, this game is also still just a demo, so just a taste of what's to come. But it looked cool because it's like a different art style than I'm used to for like visual novels. Like I feel like a lot of them are more anime styled, and this one is not. Fall comes to Riverwood with chilling winds and the first drizzle. A bleak mist obscures the narrow streets clinging to the rooftops, tangling in the bushes and swirling around fields. Fog and murky blackness suit the peculiar suburb. Nestled amid the forests and mountains, it's a decaying, quiet place waiting for winter. As the evening wears on, the town is wrapped in thickening twilight, with only a few streetlights serving as solitary islands of illumination in an ocean of darkness. I don't like our streetlights, they're evilly red. I've seen purple ones before, but I've never seen red ones. On one such evening, ordinary and cold, four teenagers are strolling around an old park engrossed in a lively discussion. The first fallen leaves rustle underfoot. As the wind reaches the trees, their branches groan out a long plaintive creak, as if already lamenting the loss of their motley attire. Two of the teenagers, a tall boy and a fair-haired girl, walk hand in hand. Their friend carefully hops from one paved slab to the next, balancing as though a bottomless chasm might yawn open beneath them. A quiet, stooping boy in glasses trails behind them, casting glances at the road. Ahead the street splits in two, then veers sharply out toward a wasteland. Just a half-century before, a tiny school stood there. Now only a barely discernible foundation and heaps of broken bricks, choked by stubborn vines, remain to remind them of erstwhile existence. Year by year, students have taken that path, carrying with them their thoughts and fears, high hopes and grand dreams, from tough exams and first crushes to bullies' bonks on the head or simple yearnings to be the star player of a local team. Be it aglow in autumn gold, cloaked in verdant summer green, or blanketed beneath snowdrifts, Riverwood will never forget them, just as they'll never forget their town and its secrets. The older a place grows, the more mysteries it keeps locked away. One of the girls leaps into the distorted blur of light cast by an old street lamp. Ain't gonna catch me. Eva wipes shadowy webs off her cardigan, gossamer threads only she can perceive. She glances at the overgrown bushes, which have long since forgotten the tender care of gardening shears. That Russian? No chow time tonight, besties. The other girl scoffs at her friend's silly gestures. If Brian was as agile as you, we wouldn't have been stuck in school after dark. The chemistry room's never been so tidy. She wriggles her finger to demonstrate, her palms red and wrinkled from the hot water. It's not my fault Mrs. Hopestone didn't save enough teeth to avoid spitting and lisping. Besides, she should have explained it better. The bottle must have been left open. Actually, she explained it just fine, but you still put 3 chlorine tablets in the rubbing alcohol instead of 1. Surprise, surprise, the reaction was extreme. Yeah, that bang was something else. My left ear's still ringing. Eva hops, hovering in the faint halo of light, and nods. She's never been reprimanded at school before today. Sure, she would have been way more sad if it hadn't been Brian's fault, but still. It's just another adventure, something her and her friends will laugh about one day, and the happy memory is worth more than any reprimand, especially when her parents will probably forget it by tomorrow. This is like a weird gang, you know? Like, they look more like the popular jock and cheerleader sort of thing, but we got a nerd here and like, I don't know. She feels like a theater kid. I don't know why. It's a weird mashup, though. Right. He raises his hands apologetically. Next time we team up, I won't let you down. I'll put in 2 chlorine tablets. It's only supposed to be 1, dude. It's still gonna explode, won't it? The groups pass a row of houses as dissimilar to one another as ever possible in the suburb. They don't look very good. This one This one's definitely haunted. Someone's gonna appear right in that window. That thing looks like it's got many dead bodies hidden in the basement or something. And this one's not much better. It's got a little hole in the roof. These all need repairs. This one's okay-ish. The time-worn house's windows glow faintly in sepia tones, as though the light itself has aged and can no longer disperse the deepening darkness. The buildings they pass seem to be contending for the greatest neglect. Every other resident would be considered an eccentric in any other town. For instance, Greybone has leaned on rusty mower on his front stoop instead of a crane for 2 decades. The abandoned duplex across the road still bears the scars of a long-forgotten fire. Its windows are boarded up. Even during the day, it has a miserable look. The teens keep their distance. What the hell is with the cats? They're really weird-looking cats, too. They're like, they don't have any legs. They're just melting into the stairs. Oh, Mrs. Harvit's house. The gloomy old lady had knitted yet another pear-shaped cat and proudly displayed it on the terrace, thus expanding her ugly army. Right, you had a couple of tea together. Did baby Tony apologize? Once, Eva's brother had filched one of the cats and taken it home. Neither their parents had called any attention to it, so she had to explain herself that taking other people's belongings without permission was wrong. What the hell? Why'd she have to do that? Why do her parents not care at all? You're gonna raise a little thief if you don't if you don't reprimand him. He can't just go around stealing things. No, I was the one to apologize. Mrs. Harvitz didn't say a word. She only gave us a cold stare and sniffed loudly. She scared poor Tony so much that he couldn't fall asleep for half a night. As she should. If you had to apologize, then that means that Tony doesn't even care that he did something wrong. I wouldn't. If I was Mrs. Harvitz, I wouldn't, like, accept that apology either. Because it's not genuine. I don't know. They're not raising this kid right. You have such a giving heart when it comes to your brother. You must be raising a hell of a knight. Why in the world would he want to snatch a cat, though? He was just a little kid. He came, he saw, he took it home. Oh, was he like 5 or something? Because I feel like that's a bit more excusable, but you gotta tell him that it's wrong. What are their parents doing? There's no need to tell her that Tony had intended to give Eva the cat. He knew she wanted a pet more than anything in the world. He thought he could cheer her up with just at least a toy one. He'd never taken anything that didn't belong to him before, not out of fear of getting caught or punished. He simply found stealing shameful. Tony would sooner give away his breakfast than steal something from someone weaker than him. No doubt that kind of attitude will make school harder for him, but such is his nature. Contemplating her brother's heart of gold, Eva smiles softly. I don't know. I mean, he could have just bought a toy cat. He didn't have to go stealing. Especially if he doesn't usually steal things. I feel like something weird happened. Why would he take one of these? Did the ghost tell him to? They passed by Mrs. Harvit's terrace, curiously eyeing her odd dolls. Twilight makes the cat's silhouettes look more eerie. Their pearl-button eyes glimmer in the fading light as if they know secrets that have been buried too long. If I grow crazy one day, I'm definitely buy a nice crib close to the park. The neighbors could here match me perfectly. Yeah, I can't stand this street. It's like it's lost in time and space. How about we head through the square? No one protests, so she leads them onward, sweeping into the nearest alley. A gust of wind bursts through the narrow walkway, permeating the air with the stench of raw wooden planks and rotting garbage. Ew. The houses in the alley look like they've been copied and pasted. They were likely built at the same time to house factory workers. The only thing that differs is the light in the windows, on or off, making it clear whose shift it is tonight. 2 Christmases before, Brian got beaten up here. Some high school students apparently didn't appreciate his sharp tongue. They shoved him into a snowbank and packed snow under his sweater. But the most humiliating part was the neighbor kicking them all out. She came out onto the doorstep with one of Brian's classmates, a cute but overly chatty girl. By the very next day, the whole school had heard the story about him shaking snow out of his pants and whimpering like a puppy. Oh. He would have preferred being rolled into a giant snowman than left there till spring. Brian adjusts the backpack full of baseball equipment, which has crawled down his shoulder, and walks up to Ashley. I'm so fed up with this stupid school. All these teachers, homework, tests. But the year just started. That only makes me want to study even less. There's nothing worse than coming back to a school after summer. That's true. He jumps over a puddle and takes Ashley's hand. It's like wearing old trainers you've already grown out of. I can't wait for college. When I start working, I'll buy a real catcher's gear, or at least a better glove. I hate to break it to you, Brian, but life does not get better after school. It just gets... You just get more and more work. It never ends. It never... Well, at least you do get money, though, so I guess that's nice. But still, I don't know. His palm still hurt from Friday's practice session. The equipment donated to their team left much to be desired. Better buy a slugger straight away. It'll pay off much sooner. Best case scenario, you can be a bouncer at a bar. Ashley laughs at his childishness. Brian doesn't get the complexity of the world at all. Dad says a good job like his is hard to find without higher education. Ashley grabs her Leo Zodiac pendant. It's a nervous habit, something that she does whenever she says something important. It calms her. College is just another place to study. This world's too cruel. Illnesses, starvation, school. I like school though. Michael tries to squeeze into the conversation. All along he's been trailing behind the others, glancing suspiciously at parked pickups as if they might bite. He hasn't kept up with his friends since he noticed two silhouettes in an old Ford. What? One female, one male. Oh, Jesus! Oh, what the hell? The mutilated faces stared back at him. He could have sworn he had heard a hoarse, gurgling whisper. Oh my god. Then a light had flashed over one of the doorsteps, dispersing the blackness. Suddenly, both seats were empty again, and the strange vision turned into nothing but a local flour mill uniform hanging from a grab handle. Buddy, I think you need to go see somebody about this. It's not good to be seeing dead bodies in your head. Michael wipes the sweat off his forehead and listens carefully to his friends. We don't want to talk... I mean, I guess they'd probably think you're crazy, but still, you should see somebody. Did this just start happening, or has this been happening? Of course, I'd love school too if I had your scores, Mikey. Exactly. Agreeing, Brian quickly squeezed Ashley's hand. Maybe I should wear glasses too. Sounds like homework doesn't look so boring through them. They walked by the Murdoch's front garden and onto the street flooded with pink and blue neon store signs. You better stop complaining. We only have 3 years of school left. Just imagine, life's going to be completely different afterwards. We might even lose touch. To Eva, the idea of moving away feels like teleporting to an unfamiliar planet. So many new people, places, and interesting stories. She hasn't even fully explored Riverwood yet. In her mind, the town's old houses and old residents still harbor so many secrets, enigmatic and dark. In comparison, some unknown huge city feels like a bottomless well, impossible to fully drain even if you had 100 years. In a future like that, it would be hard to make time for anything from the past. But she doesn't plan to forget her loved ones forever. If friendship's real, distance means nothing. My dad calls his friends from other states every single day. She's tempted to add that they mainly have business conversations and argue often, but they don't need to know that. In her mind, her parents are role models everyone should strive to imitate, not just her and her brother. I have a feeling... I don't know, it seems a little too perfect. I have a feeling that her parents, maybe possibly, especially her dad, is probably wrapped up in something that has to do with him seeing dead bodies. Or maybe they're just good people. But maybe not! There isn't a single family in this entire town happier or more close-knit than Ashley's. That's suspicious. And that's nothing but the truth. That they're hiding something. Nobody's that perfect. Well, a couple of cornfields and state borders ain't enough to break you up. What the hell do Ashley's dad, your love, and cornfields have in common? Look around! Eva stops and points towards the houses swaying in the darkness. Is anything really happening over there? Crunk Jim driving a tractor into a ravine was practically the only breaking news here in 6 months. Well, adulthood is a real challenge. People grow up and then they start to feel sorry that time flew by so fast. And they want to experience school life again. Do they? I've never thought, oh man, I would just love to be in high school again. That was a horrible time. I don't know. Anybody who's like, oh man, high school was the highlight of my life, just peaked there and never moved on. She pauses, searching for the right words. Like, I didn't mind college, but high school? High school's... Quoting someone else is one thing, but will she soon regret those bygone days herself? After all, Eva already recalls her early childhood with a nostalgic warmth. Back then, every little thing felt like it was brimming with wonder. Now a doll is no longer a sorcerer's princess or a traveler from a faraway world. Toy soldier is just a piece of plastic, and the blanket is no longer what? Making stories up for others is simple. But how are you supposed to fix yourself? Maybe the older you get, the duller and more colorist the world becomes. I feel like it's just a skill issue. Like, I don't know, tons of people play like D&D and stuff, right? And that's basically just that whole like imagination land stuff, like where she's saying the figure could be a princess or whatever. Like, I don't know, maybe you should just get into D&D or something. I feel like you'd be fine. I don't know. Maybe that's just what you need. It's like going back to a fairy tale you weren't grateful enough for earlier. I mean, what? I don't know. What if you took like your younger imagination land and just brought it, you know, just make a campaign out of it or whatever, or however that works. I don't know. I've never played D&D before. They're just nice words, nothing more. Bring adults back to the textbooks and they'll howl all day. I don't remember any fairy tales where the characters were forced to read Walt Whitman's poetry. What about you, Michael? What the hell? Bye! I guess we're not seeing the country music festival. Me neither. Is there anything behind it? I was expecting something weird to be there. Mama's hands. What about Papa's hands? The friends stroll from one store to the next, looking at the flickering signs. Up close, they no longer seem bright and cheerful. They look rather ramshackle and out of place in this dilapidated suburb. Like, the rows of houses here kind of remind me like the Old West roads, you know? I don't know why. I guess it's just the lineup and the fact that there's like no tall buildings, but I guess it's only a little suburb, not a city, so I guess everything would be this same heightish, maybe? I don't know, I feel like you could still have some more variety. They're very boxy, these buildings. Did I read this? I think so. Let's go home, okay? Dad's on shift today, but if he comes back to grab a bite to eat, I ain't there. And I ain't there. Brian scratches his neck and sticks out his tongue. Ashley laughs and punches him in the shoulder. Michael, trailing behind everyone, suddenly stops and looks at the only sign that still sparkles as brightly and cheerfully as the day it was hung. The sky here is very, like, plain. Like, there's not very many stars. I don't think the light pollution should be that bad. I feel like we could use a couple more. The arcade's open. I doubt there's anyone there this late. We can play Street Fighter. Usually calm and quiet, he now blossoms. Behind his thick glasses, his eyes shine with passion. Totally. No stupid helpers, suckers, or high school jerks. The boys lean against a dusty window, as happy as if they're meeting their idols. He's got the face of someone who just forgot he saw two dead bodies in the car. Like, I feel like that should plague your mind a little bit more. Oh well. The girls only snort in irritation. What, suddenly you're not gonna run back to your crib to avoid daddy's shellacking? I'll risk it. There's always a chance dad'll kick you in the head. What? Are you being abused? But a chance to throw Hadoukens and not wait in the freaking line for a game? Now that's rare. It takes so little to make them happy, doesn't it? Ashley glances at her friend. Let him play. By the way, did you hear about the arcade machine that appears in the hall by itself? Ashley rolls her eyes. Eva's fantasies and reality have little in common. Her friend refuses to grow up. In her world, even the tattered old shoe might open its jaws and spin some ridiculous yarn. And that's exactly why Ashley adores Eva. She's so incredibly different from Ashley's overly rational parents. And from Ashley, too. With her, getting bored is an impossible mission. Even if they were both locked in an empty basement, Eva would still manage to discover something fascinating there. She'd pull Ashley in and get her in trouble again, and they'd giggle about it later. But Eva doesn't need to know that. It's not like anyone can stop her anyway. You start playing and you can't stop. The game never ends. It's impossible. But you try over and over again, forgetting about eating or even going to the bathroom. Over and over again, not thinking about your parents or friends. Over and over again until you run out of your allowance, can't afford breakfast, and stay hangry for the rest of the week because you're dumb. Michael peels away from the glasses and adjusts his lopsided glasses. Well, that doesn't sound so scary if you had got no allowance to begin with. Want to go in or what? Gosh, they're looking at us like dogs staring at a steak. Ashley waves her hand authoritatively. It's creepy to go home when it's so dark out, but if you want to win 100 tickets, me and Eva are gonna pick a prize. It's high time for games. Act 2 already. Fast. What the hell is that creepy little mask? You want that staring at you all day? No wonder he doesn't want it staring at him all day because he's avoiding eye contact with it. Is that the chainsaw man or whatever? Chainsaw mask guy? AKDK? Shark dinner. Oh, there's a Game Boy. The spacious room is somehow stuffy, permeated with the stench of hot plastic and unsuccessfully covered up by pungent berry air fresheners. Smells like wasted time. As if this shack smells like nothing. This shack smells nothing like school. The clamor of screensavers and demo walkthroughs melds into a terrible cacophony. No wonder the zoned-out cashier is shielding himself from it with a set of greasy, cushioned headphones. You know, sometimes I feel like arcades should have headphones, even though it'd probably be gross. Maybe if you could bring your own headphones and plug them into the machines or something, because like with the rhythm games in arcades, you can't hear the music at all, you know? I feel like it'd be better if you could bring headphones. I don't know, maybe you can, but I don't think so. The walls are plastered with posters, promotional flyers, and all sorts of paper trash. However, one ad stands out. If you beat a record, you can win tickets and exchange them for prizes. Such generosity was easily explained. At the start of the school year, kids have a bit more cash in their pocket than usual. There's no one inside except the cashier, yet the floor is peppered with trash, from crumpled soda cans to chocolate bar wrappers. The arcade closes in 30 minutes. Local kids only hang out here at this hour in the summer. The hall is packed with all sorts of arcade machines, each game's name glowing invitingly. Clips of characters deliberately failing to beat different levels flash on the screens over and over. The boys start searching for the most interesting game. Oh, can we pick? Let's do Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong, an arcade golden oldie. The game machine is ancient and in poor condition. The sign barely even flickers anymore. One of the buttons is cracked. Oh, can we not actually pick? Are we just learning about them? Alright, what about this one? Galaga. Galaga? This was once one of the most famous games. Now this veteran arcade cabinet is used only while the others are busy or when a couple of truly insane nerds try and fail to break the record with someone named Lily the Rat once or twice a month. What about Street Fighter? That's what we came here for. Street Fighter, the best game the hall has ever seen. Ryu and Ken are frozen on the signboard, are ready to jump each other. What? Ready to jump each other. The floor around the arcade machine is brightly polished, worn down by student sneakers. It's over here. The boys run towards the machine. It hasn't yet been wrecked the way some of its time-worn neighbors have. Even so, the buttons and plastic casing bear scuffs. What? Oh. It's like bear scuffs. No, they bear scuffs, cracks, and grubby marks left by countless kids' hands. Worst of all, instead of some thrilling music, the machine is emitting only a hoary wheeze, like an old man struggling to clear his throat and instead pushing a death rattle out of his rusty lungs. Ew. A piece of cardboard with the blood-curdling inscription stuck to the screen. Temporarily out of order. No. Cashier cannot fix it. God, where is your justice? Who's the god of computer nerds? The monkey holding the barrel? Brian grumbles something in response, and Michael just shrugs. The technician's coming, but not till next Tuesday, so I'll need to choose some other game. Try Road Blasters, it's the freshest here. Cashier points at the brand new arcade game displaying a car blowing up and drowning in a fiery pixelated cloud. Dang it! Michael's voice trembles. He seldom lets himself betray such emotion, but Brian has his back. What else have you got, other than cars? All that and a bag of chips. If you ranked in the top 5 of Pumpkin Man, I'll give you a double prize. He nods towards the counter. Alright, no one really plays this trash. We've got a real shot at setting a record. The kitty! A gray cat lounging on a chair next to another machine captures the girl's attention. 4 letters shine on her pink collar. Lucy. So sweet. Pet the cat! Yes! The cat flattens her ears and grumbles. I bet you $5 she doesn't remember how clean... She doesn't remember how clean hands with no cheese ball dust on them feel. She kinda looks like the cat Mom was trying to paint last month. Let me guess. The cat in the painting had mandibles and a pair of tentacles? What? Ugh, I wish. She was just in the background. Mom paints people. You know how it is. What? Does she paint people if they have mandibles and tentacles? What are we talking about? Ashley knows. She wishes she didn't, though. Those paintings are why she prefers inviting Eva over rather than visiting her. Well, one of the reasons anyway. What does she paint? They had a slumber party at Eva's place twice. Both nights Ashley had been plagued by nightmares. The root cause was a few masterpieces Eva's mom considered her favorites. Compared to those monstrosities, plain old horror movies were practically bright, cheery cartoons. Does she see dead people too, just like Brian? Meanwhile, the kids approached the coin-operated Pumpkin Man machine. Instead of the usual Mr. or Mrs. Pac-Man, a bright orange pumpkin is flying around tough levels, eating licorice candies. The display sears their eyes with poisonous shades as a bunch of colorful blots chase the voracious pumpkin. What you think? Are these ghosts? Michael peers at the sign. Here's a hunter shooting the pumpkin with a shotgun. They're relentless hunter souls then. Awesome. Let them catch the pumpkin, then everyone's happy. The hunters are safe in their graves and we're home. Brian decisively draws a handful of coins from his pocket and inserts them. The coins clatter through the machine's metal innards and settle in its stomach. The maze dissolves into pixels and rearranges itself into the first level. Its corridors are speckled with candies, and the ghosts being darted ravenously around their cage. Back home with no prize? I ain't leaving till we empty out that prize counter. The cashier shudders at the thought. We close in half an hour. Brian winks at Michael. Then he's gonna have 15 minutes left over to cry over that. He's gonna have 15 minutes left over to cry over his empty counter. Are we gonna play? Are we? We're zooming in awfully close. Is it all for nothing, or are we gonna do something? We are gonna do something. Oh my goodness. I was always terrible at this game. I imagine we're not gonna last very long. It is what it is. I'll do my best though. This is cool though. I can tell they put a lot of effort in this game. Like, it's got so many like artworks, you know? Like, I feel like a lot of them usually just have the character's main stance, but like they have full out like scenes for almost every other sentence. Pretty cool. So far, I'm really liking it. These are the weirdest little fruits? I have no idea. It's like a computer glitch. No. Oh shoot. Well, I walked right into that one. It's interesting that they have like they're talking in Russian, or I don't know if it's Russian. I'm terrible at identifying things. But like, just because of the setting, I thought it was gonna be like English, but interesting. Oh shoot, I forgot I didn't have the berry activated. Oh well. You only get two tries? Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's it, give me tickets, you stupid slab of iron. The cabinet releases 50 tickets that could be exchanged for an interesting item. Although they'd like to keep playing a bit longer, they've run out of spare change, and Brian would never ever borrow money from a girl. Michael feels a bit awkward since he's never had any pocket money at all, but a friendly slap on the back snaps him out of his thoughts. Good job, Michael. You played like a beast. You two did a lot better on this than in chemistry class today. Not sure I could have completed a level where there were more ghosts than candies. Brian looks around with a self-satisfied smile, but to his disappointment, the girls aren't there to celebrate his triumph. They're just emerging from the bathroom, discussing something. You missed something amazing. Did you land the space shuttle? No, then I don't see any reason for such delirious joy. Brian points at the tickets Michael's holding. Nah, what we did was way cooler than any shuttle. Let's go. High time we picked the prize. And he's gone. The cashier isn't around. The only movement in the whole arcade is a decorative bamboo curtain slowly swaying behind the counter. Cashier's headphones are still lying on the lower part of the counter, and a lonesome sausage is rolling around in a jar? What? What? Why does he have just a Oh, I see it! Ew! Who eats jarred sausage? That's so weird. And why is it here? All of a sudden, the hall seems empty. He went home. He's like, it's time. It's time to go. Where'd he go? Don't know. Brian carefully approaches the counter and raps on the table with his knuckles. You hear shambling behind the bamboo curtain. Someone exhales loudly, and then they all freeze. Game machines start beeping incessantly. Oh no, I have a bad feeling about this. Signboard lights dim as devouring darkness creeps into the hall. Eva impatiently examines the counter, the prizes, and the posters tacked up one on top of another. Then she shouts. It's getting very dark in here. Hello? Anybody here? No reply. Alright, let's bounce. I don't want to wait for this freak. He's got that stupid ass mask. I hate you. I hate you so much. The cashier takes off his mask and bursts into laughter. Y'all should see your faces. We didn't even gasp. What a boring prank. The cashier grimaces as though he's taken a swig of lemon juice. Ugh, critics. Alright, pick a prize. I see y'all got plenty of tickets. Get the Game Boy! I want the Game Boy, yes. Nintendo Game Boy, 10,000 winning tickets. Best prize ever. The boy's wildest dream. I wonder how long you'd have to play to win this many tickets. Oh, we're not going to be able to afford that. 8 ball? Magic 8 ball. 50 winning tickets. A magic 8 ball. Ashley would love this toy, as she believes in fortune telling and horoscopes. Slinky. No one wants a Slinky. They suck. They get tangled too much. Rubik's Cube? Rubik's Cube, 35 winning tickets. A good but hard puzzle. Michael loves stuff like that. He'll probably solve it in 15 minutes. 1986 Topps baseball card set, 40 winning tickets. The card's price was slumped since everyone rushed to buy them a few years back, hoping to sell them at a profit later, even if they aren't interested in sports. Now they've moved on to Pokemon cards. Brian's personal collection is only missing 1986 and 1984 sets. He'd love this. Are we gonna have to pick and choose? Slinky, 20 winning tickets. A red Slinky, an American golden oldie. You can perform lots of simple tricks with it. Eva promised her younger brother that she'll get him one just like this. Can you? I feel like they kinda suck. Are we gonna get this weird VHS tape though? Unavailable, unavailable, unavailable. What do you mean unavailable? We have enough tickets. Prize for Michael. Is that all we can get? Why? And the award for the best gamer of the night goes to Michael. What do you say? You want a Rubik's Cube? Looks fly. Never seen one like this before. Michael nods shyly. He's not used to getting anything right on the first try. Oh, this is Michael and that's Brian? Oh well. He isn't thrilled about the prize, but Brian could simply have chosen the Magic 8 Ball for his girlfriend or the Slinky for Eva. He's known them way longer, but no, he chose Michael. He's on cloud 9. People are finally noticing him. Girls, you don't mind, do you? Oblivious to the world, Eva's just staring at the leather face mask stretched over a jar of cheap marinade sausages. Oh, that's who he is. Is he the same guy? I don't know. I know... Doesn't he, like, appear in Dead by Daylight or something? I don't know. My roommate... Well, my old roommate used to play that a lot. I feel like they had two guys that had weird faces. Maybe not. I don't know. Why do you have it over a jar of sausages? Where can you even buy sausages jarred? The mask is made of leatherite, not latex or silicone. It looks so realistic. Of course, up close it isn't as menacing as in the movie, but the unknown artisan clearly put immense effort into it. Eva has watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3 times. The family dinner is her favorite horror scene. She wants to ask the cashier where she got that mask so she can buy one for Halloween. Actually, there's nothing else to choose between. I took a look at the Magic 8-ball box. It was a shoddy fake. I got very few answers. Modern ones are way cooler and more interesting. Take it, Mike. Let's get out of here. The cashier collects the tickets and tosses the cube to Michael, who beams. Let me give you all something for the rest of the tickets. He takes a cassette from the shelf and taps on it. No one knows what's recorded on here. I just found it in the hall once. Well, that's dangerous. What if it's got something weird on there? What if you're just giving adult films to minors right now? You can't just... You have to review it before you just start giving it out to kids. Brian glances at his friends. Michael twists the cube with rapt attention, paying the cashier no notice. You mean you're gonna just give somebody's cassette instead of a real prize? But Eva finishes examining the mask, swiftly snatches up the prize and stows it in her bag. Booyah, extra profit. Brian grimaces as the cashier tucks the tickets into his wallet. Most likely, no extra prize ever even existed, and the cashier's just pawning some junk off on them to pocket their tickets. Chances are he's pulled that trick before. Who knows, next time he might try handing out his socks or some dusty old Tiger Electronics handheld. I think we got screwed. It's a strange, mysterious cassette. Isn't that enough? As if teasing him, the lights on the arcade machine gleams directly on the coveted Game Boy. No, it's not. They head towards the exit. A bad sign. Oh boy. Ay. What's that? Oh, stamps. Most of the signs are already off, submerging the thickets, basements, and narrow alleyways in darkness. It splashes out onto the square, engulfing it in blackness. Only a few pickups and locked bicycles are still around, all parked by Marshall Sue's bar. The wind sweeps over the fields. The element that usually toys with the harvested corn now moans forlornly, plunging the suburb into melancholy. Winter will change everything. Winter will change everything. I'm having a hard time because I'm eating a cough drop. Stores and bars will be strung with sparkling beads of colorful lights, and the snow will smooth the wrinkles and scars of old Riverwood. The town will take on a deceptively pretty and cozy facade. As a kid, Michael loved strolling around here during Christmas vacation, munching on hot pies and watching snowflakes fall through the thick windows of a coffee shop. Back then, he never noticed the aging buildings, chipped concrete, or gloomy people trying to fake a smile. In autumn, however, the suburb's flaws stand out more sharply. It looks unwelcomingly gray and lifeless. No wonder Eva calls it the season of ghosts. Just thinking about it gives him the creeps. Well, we're late. Granny and Grandpa will be upset. If that's the worst that'll happen, then you may as well stay out a little later. Come on, Mike. How about that Rubik's Cube? Show us what you got. You should have seen him. I'm a hella pumpkin master. Michael humbly takes out his toy and twists a few of the layers. But watching the colorful squares slowly line up is boring as hell. Everyone knows it, even Michael. I mean, I don't know. Unless if you know how to solve them. Once you start mixing them around, it's like that forever. Nice. What else are we gonna waste our time on? How about pouring water from the school fountain into the river? Eva pulls out the cassette and waves it at her friends. Now here's something worth our time. What you think? Is it gonna be a movie or a cartoon? Disappointed in the Rubik's Cube, Brian glances at their extra prize. I really hope it's worthwhile. Maybe some maniac recorded himself abusing his victims and can't wait to make it public. I mean, it's possible. It reeks. Oh, I think I was right about it being an adult movie, though. Nobody knows why Eva sniffed the cassette. She hands it to Ashley, who also grimaces at the stench. Oh no, that thing is covered in all sorts of things. Bri? Oh god, why are you all sniffing it? Brian sniffs it too. Oddly, instead of plastic, it stinks of lake silt. Acidic rust, stagnant water, waxed leather coated in sweat. Ew. The odors mix together in the most unimaginable way, yet each is still distinct. That's weird. That's what I'm talking about. We gotta see what's... What? Whoa, what? Suddenly, Michael shrieks and swears. How did you injure yourself on a Rubik's Cube? His friends spin to face him. Michael shakes his finger and sticks it in his mouth. He grips the cube as if he's about to throw it away, but forces himself not to. You see, like, there's so much art in this game, though. Like, it's been changed. Like, they have so many animations and stuff. It's crazy. Ashley glances at her bewildered friends. They look just as lost as she is. Unless that cube's made of sugar, that's totally weird. Even weirder than that nasty cassette. What happened, Mike? The boy puts the cube in his pocket and forces a smile. His face is covered in sweat, his eyes dance about anxiously. He saw more dead people. It's all good, just pinched my finger. Must have turned the layer the wrong way. It hurts, but Michael doesn't want to look weak in front of his friends, and he certainly doesn't want to scare them. The whole thing felt strange, pointless. Mark my words, an arcade that's never bothered to repair Street Fighter doesn't know what fun is. No wonder their prizes are junk. How about we just throw it under Abraham's trunk? Just imagine the pieces flying about. Truck, not trunk. Abraham drives a massive tanker truck, shipping milk across town. Before that, he spent years as a driver for the local flour mill. His old red truck is already a town legend. You can hear it roar all the way from the other side of Riverwood. Wow, that'd be incredible. Steven Spielberg's gonna shoot a movie about it one day for sure. Ugh. Today was a crazy waste of time. Let's just go home. Nobody disagrees, so they head to the town's newest district. There isn't much junk laying around here as there is in the park. The residents in this area are relatively wealthy. Ashley's house isn't the first place on their way back. The friends stop by her family's decorative fence. Michael likes it here. The house feels alive, bright, and full of energy. Not that he and his grandparents live in a junkyard, but their place is old and engulfed in greenery and quiet. Old things always stay right in their places, and the new ones are rare. If the TV still works, there's no need to replace it. If the couch isn't falling apart, why get rid of it? It could last through at least one more generation of kids. 100 generations of kids would be a lot. The only new thing his grandfather's bought lately is a car, but, well, that was for a special reason. Michael's life is quiet, like a little mouse buried in books and magazines. In that sense, Ashley is his complete opposite, just like their houses. An old single-story building versus a giant mansion that takes up half its plot. Ash, you have an old VHS player in your shed, don't you? Yeah. What, you want to watch the cassette? Well, it could make our evening a little better, but don't our boys gotta get home? I mean, at this point, they've already, like, overstayed out of their curfew, so I feel like, what's a little more time? Instead of answering, Brian jumps over the fence and waits for his friends to follow. Michael? Michael nods and quickly catches up with Brian. Brian looks excited, like he's about to embark on the best adventure of his life. Grinning from ear to ear, he turns to Michael. Did you solve the cube? No, I'll try again later. Let's check out that tape. He should have started doing his homework long ago instead of wandering through the streets. By now his grandmother might be about to call the police and demand a search party for her grandson, but he hardly wants to go home. Michael stares pensively at his finger. Blood is still oozing out of the wound. The nail and the flesh have been cut with a sharp edge. That is crazy for a Rubik's Cube. Something else definitely happened. Also, that Rubik's Cube is hollow. But do you want to get him a band-aid first before you watch this VHS? The worst part is the feeling that feeling of the cube growing right inside his pocket? What? The cube that pinched his finger hard. The cube covered in bloody fingerprints. The cube that had suddenly been etched with an inscription invisible to anyone but him. What? 4 carved out letters. Your... And the carving disappeared as if it had never been there. Your what? Come on, let's go check out what kind of recording we got. Your what? Or a comfy place. I don't feel very comfy. Oh, I hate that. Why would you have a scarecrow in your attic? That's weird. As far as the friends are concerned, Ashley Shed is the best and coziest place in the whole suburb. They spend most of their evenings there in winter, when there's nowhere else to hang out and they're high risk of being targeted by high schooler snowballs. There's plenty of space for board games and fooling around. They can be as loud as they like, and Ashley can always bring them snacks or soda from home. Her father originally planned to turn this place into a man cave, complete with a couch and a big TV, but he's been overwhelmed with work lately, so most of the time the friends are free to use the shed. But that day, they aren't alone. Chris, Ashley's older brother, is already inside, laying on a shabby carpet and playing a new Sega Genesis. Only as they entered does Ashley remember that Chris is grounded for coming home drunk from a party. He isn't allowed to see his friends for a month, but some of his buddies must have lent him the gaming console so he won't get bored at home alone. As the door squeaks open, he swiftly hides a red pack of Marlboros under a pillow. Phew, it's just you suckers. I thought Daddy showed up and was about to teach me how to live again. What you doing up here? Baby Ashley decided to show you our true family treasures? That's awful. The shed is filled with dated furniture living out its days and unused equipment covered in dust, plus other miscellaneous items the family are too lazy to get rid of. Ashley's family is rich enough that they don't need to sell all their old junk, so a lot of it has been stuffed into a shed. Whoa, oh. What is this thing? An archaic Atari Pong console. Ashley's father played it as a teenager, but the only controller broke long ago, and so did the console itself. What is this? Why is this here? The funny scarecrow from the Bennett's field. Ashley asked Chris to steal it after the Bennett's youngest daughter lost her doll. It was hard to believe, but Eva swore the scarecrow had moved on its own. Why would you steal it? Why would you steal it after the kid lost her doll? It's not very funny looking either. An antique mirror. Little Ashley loved looking in it and imagining she was a Disney princess. Eva would barely even glance at the mirror. She was 110% convinced that Bloody Mary would come out if she wasn't careful. I'd be terrified of that too. Nothing good about old mirrors. Chris's battered punching bag. Someone must have thrown hatchets and darts at it. The old motorcycle. About 3 years ago, before Ashley and Brian started dating, Brian saddled it up and drove it into a creek. Ashley burst into laughter and Brian was banned from visiting Ashley's house. It seems the ban still hasn't been lifted. Chris retrieves the Marlboros and pulls a cigarette out with his teeth. Brian notes the trick so he can try it later. It looks thrilling. He doubts his attempts will look as natural as Chris's did, but it's worth a little practice. What if he manages to impress the high schoolers or the guys from neighboring town's baseball team? Taunting opponents and getting on their nerves is a time-honored tradition. Brian imagines himself strolling past him, deftly pulling out a cigarette and then smirking and asking why they sent a team of sissies to the game. Don't you have to stay in your room and feign remorse? And what about you? Shouldn't you be catching Z's, not wandering around in the dark? Or you want to see who can disappoint our parents the most? He exhales a ring of blue smoke. The winner is clear. No, unlike you, I care about my future. We just want to watch a cassette. Why don't you just go do something else for a bit? We need the TV. As if. Get out of here, kids. He turns to the TV and keeps playing. Deceive? Oh, we have choices! Oh, but we don't have choices yet. I guess it's just because it's the demo. But let's deceive him. And Ashley isn't going to back down. Her brother is as simple and predictable as an old penny. She won't even break a sweat fooling him. All you really need to know is whose opinion matters more to him than his own. Whose personal business he cares about more than video games. What he's afraid of missing out on. What will make him jealous. Ashley's eyes narrow slyly at Chris. I'll trade the TV for some intel, bro. Go on. He's still staring at the screen through the smoke cloud, frantically clicking the controller's buttons. We stumbled on your cronies out there, Sam and Bobby, right? They're asking if you're still grounded. They're pretty upset that you couldn't keep them company. Chris throws his sister a wary glance. Sam and Bobby are real douchebags. Rumor of their wicked deeds are always flying around town. Ashley knows Chris is afraid of them, but he'd still do anything to get into their gang. He's constantly schmoozing them with free drinks and cigarettes. You really think I'm gonna fall for that bull? It's true. I also saw them near the old water tower. They were going to steal Pam's motorcycle and ride it to the flour mill. Chris jumps up, nearly burning his fingers on the cigarette. Why the hell were they going there? Chris knows his sister can make up any nonsense on the spot if she wants to take advantage of something, but Eva he trusts. She's a good girl. He doubts she'd lie. He can see right through his little sis. Ashley thinks she's a master manipulator, but her expression is dead giveaway when she's lying. But Eva is different. They've known each other for forever. She never lies so blatantly, unless of course it comes to stories about ghosts that haunt the old school, or the mysterious drowned man the girls totally met at the lake one day. Grandpa says truck drivers sometimes sneak bourbon into the factory in gas cans and sell it to the night shift workers. Best bourbon in the state, that's what he says. I bet they weren't gonna buy it. They were gonna steal it. Ha, that would be fun. He yanks his sneakers on and rushes for the door. Before he leaves, he glances over his shoulders and sneers. Watch out, Four Eyes. If you're just trying to ditch me, your ass is gonna be my punching bag next time. Eva, you don't count. Chris disappears into the night. Michael wipes the cold sweat from his forehead. He isn't gonna punch me, is he? Is he, guys? It's just Ashley's brother, not some damn high schooler who likes robbing kids. Ashley doesn't really agree. Chris has changed lately. He used to play sports. He never smoked or followed complete idiots before. Their parents were proud of his medals and trophies. Their dad claimed any college would accept Chris on an athletic scholarship if he couldn't make it academically. And once he entered college, he would straighten out. But there's nothing left to straighten out anymore. Nobody offers scholarships for partying or hanging around bad company. Chris's boxing gloves are already gathering dust under his bed. His empty shelves and hooks aren't expecting any new awards anytime soon. Let's just start, okay? She glances at the moon. The cassette is not the only reason she wants to hurry up. Turn it on, Brian. Brian changes the TV to AV mode and slides the cassette into the VHS player. Static noise dances on the screen, curved and covered in dust. The speakers let out a soft hiss, followed by a squeak. Hope the tape's not blank, otherwise Michael's gonna get it beat up for no reason. Michael shivers and glances around as if Chris might already be creeping up on him, his fist raised to strike. It can't be blank. Hurry up and take your seats. We don't want to miss anything. Oh, we're all gonna die. Eva settles down against one of the pillows and her friends follow suit. The TV continues flickering, disrupting the peace of the shed. The wind sweeps out of the fields and descends on the suburb, sneaking through the streets like a wild animal prowling for prey. It shoves the shed, making it sway and creak like a popping joint. Their only lamp flickers, casting shadows on the piles of garbage in the corners. Is there any other light in there? That's awful. As if to answer Michael's question, a picture begins to form on the screen. The black and gray static stripes morph into an image, taking on colors and shapes. One part becomes studio walls. Another area changes into the decorated set of a Friday night show. The rest turns into a bloody... no, not into a bloody. The rest turns into a body of a game show host wearing a striped suit jacket. The host is half-turned and staring at the camera as if waiting for the director's signal to start or trying to see the audience on the other side of the screen. At least he's not a maniac. Don't speak so soon. I don't like it. An invisible orchestra bursts into music so cacophonous that the players should have been whipped for their miserable performance and never allowed to lay hands on an instrument again. Welcome to the show, everybody. Ah, what? As you might have guessed, the full game offers you a great variety of choices, so all the plot twists will be up to you. We are genuinely grateful for the interest in project and time spent playing. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay. What? You can't just leave us there. I wanted to see something scary. But I like how it's starting. So that was a Pink Noise demo. I feel like they really just killed us at the end there. Like, come on. You could have at least let us watch till the end of the program or something, right? I don't know. Maybe that's when like decisions really start taking off. I'm guessing since it's a game show, maybe like they're actually gonna have to, like, you know, call in and answer the questions for the game. Because I'm guessing we're now the contestants, right? But I'm curious about what's going on with I think it was Mikey, the guy with the Rubik's Cube, because he's definitely seeing ghosts everywhere. It's like, is this normal for you? Because he doesn't seem like he's startled by it, but he's not like freaking out about it, you know? Like, he's just kind of hiding it. So he must have been seeing things for a very long time, right? And I have a feeling that his grandma's weird too, because like he seems afraid of her, but it might be just because she's gonna punish him. But I also think that she might be dead. But you never know. I don't know. I hope this comes out soon because I really want to know the rest of it. I mean, it's reminding me a little bit about it's like what was that game? Scarlet Hollow. Yes, the other game that I hope gets finished soon. But I don't know, I'm very interested in this. I hope it comes out soon. But they put a lot of effort into it. Like I was saying, with all the art in it, like it's gonna take a long time, I feel like, because it's just like, it's so like what's the word I'm looking for? Scenic, I guess? Because like a lot of visual novels, they usually just have like the backgrounds change, but there's like a couple of set like portraits for the characters. But like this one, it's like every scene they seem to actually be in different like poses and like kind of animated, you know? So it's like, man, this is gonna need a lot of work. But I'm super interested in this, and I don't know, I want to play it more. But that's all for this one, so let me know what you think of the game down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. This is Casper Kuma, over and out.